page 655, you'll find a song at the top of the page. It's just a few words. We did this before, last week or the week before. It talks about, it just says, come let's go out and dance. Because we do celebrate Shabbat. It's like a big wedding, Shabbat. We even have a Sabbath bride. So this just has a few words in it. Hava, which you recognize from many other songs. Hava Nagila. Hava Netze Bimachol. It goes like this. And I'll teach you both parts. Because I sing it, you echo. It goes, Hava Netze Bimachol. You sing, Hava Netze Bimcholot. Try it again. Hava Netze Bimachol. Hava Netze Bimcholot. I sing, Hava Netze Bimachol. You sing, Hava Netze Bimcholot. Hava Netze Bimachol. Hava Netze Bimcholot. Try it again. Hava Netze Bimachol. Hava Netze Bimcholot. 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 Now get ready because you're going to clap. We go, Yale, 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 Yale. That's the part where we have fun. Okay. Yale, 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 Yale. Have Netze Bimachol, Have Netze Bimcholot, Have Netze Bimachol, Have Netze Bimcholot, Have Netze Bimachol, Have Netze. Now we're having fun. Have Netze Bimachol, Have Netze Bimachol. Yale, 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 Yale. Have Netze Bimachol, Have Netze Bimachol, Have Netze Bimachol. Were they mocking me?
I think so, yeah.
Really? Do I sing like that? Kinda? I don't know. You gotta clean your ears out. Listen carefully. It's like a mirror. It's scary. Havanetze bimcholot. I sing your part. Okay, you sing my part. Ready? Havanetze bimcholot. Havanetze bimcholot. Havanetze bimcholot. Havanetze bimcholot. Havanetze bimcholot. That was really impressive. Are these people congregants or is this like from another?
No, we hired them.
I knew it. Yale, 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 yale. Last time. Yale, 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 yale.
Thank you, Gordon.
There you go. You got to jump.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Good Shabbos to everyone. Can you believe the summer is almost over? School has started. We're gearing up for the high holidays. It's so nice to see everyone. Special welcome to those of you who are here at our congregation for the very first time. We have a very special service tonight. Elenia Wilmert, where are you? Is going to be speaking to us a little bit later about her recent experience in my hometown, Chicago, with an organization called Hands of Peace. And we're going to invite up Elenia and her mom, Marlo, in a second to light candles. But before we do that, and because school just started, and religious school, any of our students know, we have a lot of our CBS religious school students here. When does religious school start this year? It's early this year. When does it start? Anybody know? In 3 weeks? 4 weeks? It starts Sunday, this coming Sunday. So it's hard to believe, but we're very excited. I know that Leah, our education director, is very excited. Lauren is, all of us are. But I want to know what you guys did over the summer. So could I have the mic for a second? I'm going to start with you, Tula, because I know you hate speaking in front of people so much. What did you do over the summer? I'll hold it.
Be lazy.
Be lazy? No, but you did something. You did something really interesting.
Where'd you go?
What'd you do? What'd you do this summer?
What did I do? Oh, yeah, I went to overnight camp.
You went to overnight camp. It was your first time at an overnight camp,
Yeah.
and you liked it.
What kind of overnight?
Yeah, what kind of camp was it?
It was a Jewish overnight camp.
Okay, good. Glad you had fun. Who else wants to share what they did this summer of our students? Okay, Max.
I went to Costa Rica.
I saw on Facebook that you guys went to Costa Rica. Was it fun? What did you do?
Swam
Swam? Okay,
a lot.
you swam a lot. Okay, good. Costa Rica is a good way to spend the summer. Anyone else want to share what they did? Anybody? Okay. Is this Josephina or Theodore? Theodora. Okay, I get you guys confused sometimes. What did you do this summer?
I went to Woodstock.
Woodstock, New York? Are you a hippie?
No.
No? Did you see where the big concert was all those years ago?
Nope.
So what did you do in Woodstock?
I went shopping and we got some weird stuff, and then we went stopping at stores, and we stayed at a hotel, a couple of them, and we just relaxed.
Okay, well that sounds like a fun way to spend part of the summer. Good. Well, we'll take one more. Elliot, tell us what you guys did or what you did over the summer. You can grab it if you want.
I went to like 5 camps, and then I spent,
You went to 5 camps?
something like that.
Okay.
And then I spent one night in Quito, Ecuador, and then I went to the Galapagos for 8 days.
Oh, wow.
And then I went to the Mido Cloud Forest, like 2 hours and a half north of Quito for 5 days.
Stop working.
A trip to Ecuador and the Galapagos. I think that beats. You win. You win. That sounds pretty exciting. Well, I'm glad that you've shared your experiences with us. I hope everyone had a good summer. I'm looking forward, as are all of us here at CBS, to this new Jewish year ahead. And I think we're going to start by lighting our Shabbat candles. So Marlo and Elenia, if you would come up. And you can follow along on page 120 if you want to follow the blessing.
First try. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lahedlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Let's turn to page 142 and sing Shalom Alechem. I know many of you know this song. Some of our students may not have heard it before, but it's a song about peace. And some of you over the summer have been to Spain, you've been to Ecuador, you've been to Costa Rica. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world, not all of which is peaceful. So on Shabbat, we pray for peace. And we thank God for helping us to build a world that is peaceful and harmonious. So that's what this song is about, page 142.
Shalom Alechem Malachi Elyon Mi Melech Malachi Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Boachem L'Shalom Malachi HaShalom Malachi Elyon Malachi Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Hile Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Sechem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
We turn now to page 146 for our call to worship, the Baruch Hu, and I'd like to invite Max and Elliot to come up to the bima, as well as any of our other students who would like to join us in the Baruch Hu. And I'd like to ask everyone else who's able to please rise.
La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Baruch Hu.
Please join me at the bottom of page 149 as we read together in English. I'm sorry, 151. 151. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol. All these things your Torah gives to us, and the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works, and the living language that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem, Kivod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed.
Please be seated.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher Anochi
Mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibartam b'shivtecha v'vitecha v'vlektecha v'derech v'shopecha v'kumecha v'kshartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu l'totafot b'einecha v'ktavtam al mezuzot beitecha v'lisharecha למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם אלוהים.
Ani Adonai Elohechem.
In addition to running our religious school so wonderfully, Leah also sometimes pinch hits when we need help leading the service. So thank you very much. We're going to turn to page 158 and continue with singing Mi Chamocha, and I know a lot of our students know this song, so please join Gordon in it.
I hope they know this one. I don't remember which one we've done. Okay. Yum bum bum bim bim bye yabba bye bye bim bum. Yum bum bum bim bim bye yabba bye bye bim bum. Yai la 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 yabba bye bye bim bum. Yai la 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 yabba bye bye bim bum. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai. Mi chamocha ne'edar b'kodesh. No ratahilot o sefele. No ratahilot o sefele. Malachutecha ra'u vanecha. Okei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam. Ze'eli anu ve'amru Adonai lo le'olam va'ed. Yam bam bam bim bim bye yabba bye bye bim bam. Yam bam bam bim bim bye yabba bye bye bim bam. Yai la 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 yabba bye bye bim bam. Yai la 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 yabba bye bye bim bam.
Page 161. Please join me at the top of the page. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom, aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Page 160. Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. V'hamidenu shomreinu l'chayim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Amen. Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. V'hamidenu shomreinu l'chayim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Amen. Shelter us beneath your wings, O Adonai. Guard us from
take a moment now for your own silent thoughts and prayers.
Page 180. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, be acceptable to you. My rock and my Redeemer.
We take time now in our service to think of those in need of healing on this Shabbat, healing of body, healing of spirit, and healing of heart. And we ask God to bestow the bracha, the blessing of refuah shlema, full and complete healing on the following men and women from our CBS family or those known and loved by our congregation: Lynn Feingold, Ilana Massey, Kevin Brackett, Michelle Camisia, Joshua Hyman, Diane Butler, Jesse Friedman, Beverly Eigner, Ed Eston, Marjorie Gilberg, Michael Blend, Jim Mates, and Scott Cohen. And if anyone has a name they wish to add to our list, please do so. The Misha Berach is on page 511.
Misheberach Avotenu Mikor HaBracha Imotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage Make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mi sheberach imotenu mikor habracha avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
We're going to continue with our service with the Aleinu all the way through our final song, and then we're going to invite our guest speaker up. We'll do Kiddush and Motzi at the very end. So right now, before we open up the Ark for the Aleinu, of our students, who would like to come up and open the Ark? I know we need at least, Tula, you want to come up? Who else would like to come up? We need at least one more person. I mean, you could do it yourself if you wanted, but Theodora, Josephine, would you like to do it?
I think they
Oh,
walked.
did they already leave? You guys want to open the Ark? Remember we talked about it before? We have Max. Come on up. Everyone else, page 586, please rise.
Come on, you can go two on a door.
You guys get this side.
Let's wait for the
Yeah, you guys get this side.
Soldinger
and you
girls.
guys come up
They-
and you get
okay.
this side. And you just, okay, go ahead and open it up.
There you go.
You can
Yep.
put it all the way, all the way.
Good job. Oh, I guess that's me now.
Yep, that's it. You just hold it tight.
586. Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon ha'kol, la'tei gedula liotzer b'reshit, shelo asanu kegoyei haratzot, v'lo samanu kamishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'gora aleinu kechol hamonam, va'anachnu korim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו echad. Good supervising.
Please be seated. I know I say it every time, but every time our Ark openers get better and better. That was the best one I've ever seen. And they just keep getting better, so keep it up. I have the privilege of inviting board member Judy Nystrom up to the bima to share some important announcements with us.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Everybody's very settled and relaxed from their pizza, right?
They have no choice.
Yeah, they had a choice.
They have no
chose to
choice of relaxing after
Oh,
that pizza.
relaxing, right. Tomorrow, August 21st, will be the first day of, Sunday is the 21st, correct? Oh, Lauren's trying to check on me, see if I'm paying attention. Sunday, August 21st, is the first day of religious school. If you have not already registered for school or have questions, contact Leah, please. August 26th, is that a week from today? Yes. August 26th, the Paskans and Fram Friends will be honoring CBS past president Phil Fram, who will be visiting from New York for his birthday with a special onig. Sunday, August 28th, will be the first Shor Sheen gathering. this year, RSVP with Leah via email. This is a good one. Don't miss Congressman Mike Thompson speaking here at Shabbat services on September 9th. We'd like to give warm wishes to this week's birthdays and anniversaries. Happy birthday to Rita Burris, Deborah Greenstein, Richard Kaufman, Susie Krieger, Nancy Jeanette, Fred Walls, Karen Sager, Deb Bloomberg, Christopher Mariski, and Jeb Rubin. Happy anniversary to Denise and Yair Kaduri, Sherry and Paul Siegel, and Pam and Alan Berkman.
Our thoughts now turn to those who are no longer with us, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. We remember and honor those who have died during the past 12 months. Arnold Trombler, Erica Cornelison, Gladys Shubin, Richard Magano, Clark Smith, Stephanie Rab Axner, David Ernesto Kaplan, Pat Pate, Annette Goldberg, Maggie Sherman, Sandra Banco Fichtenberg, Nicholas Huff, George Montano, Dean Wilson, Norman Charney, David Alpert, Renee Munoz, Michael Kossin, and Paul Jaworski. We also honor and remember the yahrzeits, the anniversaries of the deaths of Batty Hochstadter, Alan Ewig, Richard Luros, Rita Edelman, Lottie Rosenberg, Mildred Hannaford, Maureen Reigenam, Charles W. Barnes, Ida Rosenblatt, Ruth Burshak, Doris Rubin, and William Weidler. And if anyone has a name they wish to add, please do so. The mourner's Kaddish is on page 598. Please rise. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabbah be'alma divrach herete v'yamlich malchutei b'chayachon uv'yomachon uv'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael b'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach le'alam u'lamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekudsha b'richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tush b'chata v'nechemata damiran ba'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shmaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all those in mourning and comfort to all those who are bereaved. And let us all say amen. Please be seated. As I mentioned, we're going to invite up Eleni in a second, but we're going to do our final song right now. We'll do Kiddush and Motzi at the very end.
We're on the same page. 598, we're going to do a version of Oseh Shalom. That's both parts go together, so you can pick a part and do it. So when I go, Oseh, that's the first part, and the second part goes, Oseh, so you can sing either part or make up your own part. You can always do that, as you often do. Take that however you will. Okay. It's the bottom 3 lines in Hebrew or transliteration of the Kaddish that we just finished reading. Oseh Shalom. Here we go. Oseh Shalom bimroma hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimeru amen. I put it in your key. Oseh shalom bimroma hu ויעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו ויעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. ואמרו אמן.
Shabbat Shalom. Good Shabbos again. As I said at the outset of services, we have a very special guest speaker tonight, our own CBS member and very active member, Lenia Wilmert, who is here along with her family tonight. I've known you, Lenia, for a little over 5 years now, and it's pretty amazing to me not only how diverse your interests and passions are, but also your talents and skills. And I think you could probably have spoken about any number of things tonight, but you're going to be talking to us about your recent experience with an organization called Hands of Peace, which is dedicated to fostering better relations and leadership in between American Jews, Israelis, and Palestinians. Now, we've had a number of speakers here this summer. You're in good company. The police chief, Jennifer Gonzalez, spoke a couple weeks ago. Congressman Mike Thompson is speaking on September 9th. But in some ways, I'm more looking forward to what you have to say than them, because I know you more than I know the two of them. So it is my privilege and honor to invite you up to the Bima. And we will have time for some questions at the end. So if you have some, please save them for when she's finished.
Shabbat Shalom. My name is Elenia Wilmert. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I'm a senior at Vintage High School. This summer in July, and I mean this in the least cliche way possible, this summer changed my life. Less than 2 months ago, I participated in the Hands of Peace flagship summer program. Hands of Peace is a Chicago-based organization that each summer brings together young Americans, Jewish Israelis, Palestinian citizens of Israel, and Palestinians to participate in dialogue with trained conflict facilitators about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Or at least, this is how I would have explained it to you should you've asked me before I underwent the experience. Now, after my 3 weeks spent in the basement of a church in a suburb outside of Chicago, surrounded by vibrant, passionate, compassionate, and empowered teenagers from opposite sides of the world, all 3 Abrahamic religions, with 3 different languages in use, and with music, food, and laughter filling our days. The true power of the Hands of Peace program has taken on a much deeper meaning. The initial promise of dialogue was put into fruition. Each morning, after a round of icebreaker games meant to forcibly wake us up, 2 groups of 16 participants would sit in a circle in their separate meeting rooms, each accompanied by 2 facilitators trained in conflict dialogue. And for 2.5 hours, we would discuss whatever topic involving Israeli-Palestinian relations we felt was pertinent. In our 3 weeks, guided and pushed by the facilitators, we covered topics such as history, its truthfulness, objectiveness, and importance today, identity, language, religion, ethnicity, and nationality, and how they do, should, and should not interact. Personal rights, media, education, government, military, international influences, terrorism, Zionism, day-to-day life, checkpoints, bombings, discrimination, personal experiences, emotions, and fears. Every morning in those rooms, each participant laid out their thoughts, which were then swiftly questioned and dissected. And then, much to the frustration of many, they would in turn be challenged to listen, to digest, to try to understand the perspectives coming from others. Those rooms were safe spaces of sharing, bubbles of emotions and thoughts, ovens of anger, frustration, realizations, and understanding. And then, at 12 o'clock, we would stand up, maybe stretch, take a breath, and walk out the door towards the smells coming from the kitchen, the intensity of the previous 2.5 hours wafting behind us in our wake. My favorite part of each day was the dialogue, hands down. I would arrive at the church each morning excitedly anticipating what was to come. However, the most miraculous part of the program, in my opinion, were the moments after lunch. Once the emotion and intensity from that morning's dialogue session had passed through our system, when a participant would go over to the piano and begin to play, followed by a group of others, one often with a guitar, another with her oud. And so, a heavily improvised stop-and-start concert would commence. Sometimes people would get up and dance or begin to sing along. The remaining participants would be sitting around the tables in the common area. One group would be recounting a crazy Israeli scout story. The next would be sharing useful Arabic swear words and pickup lines. Another table would be explaining the complexities of halal versus haram, and the other one over from them would be laughing at an inside joke about a kibbutz. This was our downtime, the moments of bonding unclouded by history, identity, or personal opinion. Gossiping about the staff, playing Never Have I Ever, opening bags upon bags of Cheetos, wondering why they kept serving us hummus and falafel, since the Middle Easterners could eat it any day of the week back home, and the American equivalents just could not hold a candle. Palestinians, Israelis, and Americans, joking together, snacking together, singing together. The heat of the dialogue, what was said and argued over, completely unimportant. For most of the participants, those 3 weeks spent in the basement of a church in a suburb of Chicago was the first time they had ever had an actual conversation with a person outside of their geographical, ethnic, and ideological communities. And here we were, together, teenagers, humans. For me, the power of Hands of Peace is the power of humanization. Quite honestly, going into this program, I was incredibly nervous. I did not feel that I was educated enough on the conflict to be able to participate productively in discussions. And I thought that even if I was more knowledgeable, my voice, as an American who has no real connection to Israel-Palestine, held no validity in a room of people living within the conflict. And I felt most insecure in the fact that I had no clear opinion about the conflict, that I saw validity in multiple perspectives, that I could not wholeheartedly argue for one side over the other. Upon arriving, I realized 2 things. One was that yes, I was incredibly undereducated, that I had way underestimated the vastness and complexity of the situation. However, I found that I was not the only one experiencing this realization, that each participant was undergoing an encounter similar to mine. I was also relieved to discover that the American opinion did actually interest Middle Eastern participants. The second realization was that my impartialness to a side, my inability to agree fully with one thought, and ability to uncover contradictions, hypocrisies, and opposing arguments was a much-needed perspective in a dialogue composed of biased participants who had rarely opened their eyes to contradicting thoughts or ideas. I found that I was an asset rather than dead weight. Outside of the dialogue sessions, I met and became close with 31 incredible humans. My roommate, Hiba, was a Palestinian citizen of Israel, and I clicked almost from day one. We were each other's rocks. During our days at the church, when we needed a breath of fresh air or a shoulder to lean on, we would seek each other out. At night, after our host parents had gone to bed, we would stay up into the early morning, watching random episodes of random TV shows, talking about friends and family and the ensuing drama from back home, and going through multiple bags of hot Cheetos. With the rest of the participants, I made friends for life. We bonded mostly during our days at the church, but we also took our friendships on the road, to downtown Chicago, to the Baha'i temple, to a local church, mosque, and much to the confused glee of the Jewish participants, a Reform synagogue. Halfway through our 3 weeks, we put together Culture Night, a celebration of each delegation's traditions and culture, full of food, music, dancing, and skits. Every few nights, we would meet at a host family's home, where dinner was always promptly followed by a basement dance party comprising of pitbull, despacito, and traditional Arab wedding songs. I miss the vibrancy of this group of people every day, their energy and compassion and zest for human connection in days full of laughter. I have already begun planning my first trip to Israel, Palestine for this winter or spring in order to visit them. Beyond the friendships I have made that I will always carry with me, the Hands of Peace Summer program drastically opened my eyes to what conflict resolution does, should, and could look like. I learned that to have a productive conversation, I must respond more with a why, a question that digs deeper into the true feelings and experiences behind an opinion. I learned how profoundly intertwined a person's identity could be with their opinions and versions of the truth, and that those opinions and truths all find their origins in a personal reality, often generations of personal realities. I learned that not fully listening and truly attempting to empathize, no matter how contrary I may feel, not only invalidates a person's thoughts, but simultaneously invalidates their identity and lived realities. I experienced the power of genuine dialogue, peaceful and with a mutual goal to share and to hear. I came out of Hands of Peace not only with a more spherical picture of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict and a more solidified opinion on the issue, but I left with a newfound goal to incorporate peaceful conflict resolution advocacy into my future education and perhaps professional life. My 3 weeks spent in the basement of a church in a suburb outside of Chicago will not lead directly to a solution to the Israel-Palestine conflict. However, I strongly believe that the gifts we, the participants, have acquired from our time together, which we have taken home with us, act as stones laid in the positive direction on a path leading towards peace. Hands of Peace offered an opportunity to share and to question, to cross borders and coexist with neighbors who had previously seemed so far away. Hands of Peace offered the power and the gift of humanization. I will always look back on my time there with those people as a time that truly changed my life. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda. We have time for some questions. So, Linda, you're going to go first. Just speak into the mic.
Besides yourself, how were the people selected from Palestine, from Israel? You know, how were they selected to participate in this program?
I'm not really sure. I know that for the application process was that I had to write an essay, answer a few questions about myself, and there was an interview process. But the way that they selected each participant, I'm not sure. I know they wanted to make each delegation as evenly numbered as possible, but besides that, I don't know.
Other questions? I have one. I hope we'll have a couple more, but it sounds like a major focus of this experience was on interpersonal relationships, sharing stories, getting to know one another. How did you deal with the political aspect? I mean, I'm sure you didn't avoid talking about politics, but because the Israel-Palestine conflict is so profound, how were you trained to talk about it in a specific way, or did it just organically happen, or did you avoid talking politics?
Outside of dialogue sessions, we were asked specifically not to, and I don't think anybody wanted to after like the intensity of dialogue because we were pretty emotionally drained by then. But in dialogue, we certainly talked a ton about politics and people's personal experiences with politics and how their experiences influence their view on politics. And the facilitators really pushed that we tell our opinions through stories, so kind of explain why we feel somehow about politics because of something in our life. Okay. So yeah, we talked about it a lot, all in dialogue, yeah.
Yes, Laura, and then I'll come back to you, Catherine. You got to get some exercise tonight.
I was just wondering, how did everybody communicate? Did they have translators? Because I know, like, speaking about deeply emotional topics, it's hard to do that in a second language, especially, you know, something like what, you know, the political situation.
Yeah, it was actually all in English. It was really impressive on the part of the Middle Eastern participants. If they couldn't think of a word, they'd say it in their native language and someone would help translate, but they were amazing at English, yeah.
Catherine, and then Dave will give you the last word.
I'm interested, you mentioned that a lot of the facilitators coached you to describe your feelings or your opinions through story. And you also said this was something, an experience that changed your life. And I'm wondering, was there a story that you heard that kind of shifted your perspective profoundly that you'd want to share with us?
I don't think there was a particular story. I think it was the accumulation of everything that was shared in dialogue. The role of the facilitator was also very impactful for me. Watching them kind of lead this discussion and use their skills with conflict resolution to lead us. But it was just, like I said, I didn't go in with a firm idea of what I believed in, and so just hearing all of these stories was just so impactful. There wasn't one in particular that really stood out.
You good?
Congratulations on the opportunity to be able to participate in something like that. Kudos to your parents for allowing you to do that. You could probably teach a class at San Francisco State on interpersonal relationships between Palestinians and Jews. But my question to you is, your generation is significantly engaged in social media. And was there any parameters laid out to you and or the other students as part of this conflict resolution or discussion or engagement and education to not engage socially, and or was that embraced so that ideas and thoughts and perspectives can be shared throughout the world from your experience at that location?
Not engage on social media about the program? Is that what you're asking? Well, I know for at least picture-wise, a lot of the participants, for them was actually really dangerous being there. And so they had signed waivers saying, I don't want my image to be used at all in media. So there was a strict rule of always ask before you post anything like that. No one really posted anything about what we were talking about because the dialogue sessions felt so sacred that we had established these safe spaces to kind of to talk and to process, and no one really felt like they needed to publish it anywhere outside of there. Yeah.
Thank you, Melania. Is there one more? Rivka? Wait, the reason we need the mic is because people at home will not be able to hear you. This is for... We put a lot of effort into, we want people at home to be able to hear, but go ahead.
You said a few times that you came without any preconceived idea of or your opinion of how has it changed?
I left definitely with more of an idea of what I believe and what I believe is wrong and what is right and what is happening. Obviously, I can still see that it's not clearly black and white, but I do now have more of I could share more of an opinion on what I believe is happening and should happen.
Thank you, Elenia. Your journey continues. I'll tell you, like I said, you have so many interests and so many passions and skills. Thank you so much for bringing this experience to us. I think you did a good job of conveying how sometimes there are two truths, and the truths don't always coincide with one another, and that's when conflict becomes so hard to resolve. But it sounds like you're well on your way, and I hope you'll have more exciting experiences like this. And anytime you do, you're always welcome to come here and share them with us. So thank you. I'm going to invite your family to come up here. We're going to say Kiddush and Motzi together. So Elias, Anthony, Peter, and Marlo, if you'd come on up. And everyone else, if you would please rise.
Order Gordon, are you gonna you promised me he was gonna.
I think you guys can handle it
No,
without.
well, you promised me you were gonna do it.
Well, I will resolve this conflict because that's what I have learned to do tonight. Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Amen.
L'chaim. Okay, Motzi.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
B'te'avon, Shabbat Shalom. Great job.
Thank you.
Sure, you want to sing? Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom.